Robert, welcome back to Real Vision. First, we should thank you. Lukka is a Real Vision partner, which means you help bring us this content on our platform, and we appreciate that. Welcome back to the show.
Yeah, thanks for having me again, Ash.
So, Robert, we're here to talk today about the future of the cryptocurrency space, especially the integration with traditional financial services. I know we've had a lot to talk about. You guys have added a lot of new services since you were last here. Give us an overview of the state of play of what you're doing at Lukka right now.
Yeah, it's a great question. And it's a very exciting one to answer because we've been anticipating what's happening in the industry for many years. We didn't know exactly when it was going to happen, but we knew it would. It was a big part of why I personally joined Lukka. Honestly, is because I saw them preparing to cater to large financial institutions that were adopting crypto assets into their businesses, really regardless of what business. And it starts with managing technology risk in a new way that has to be altered to accommodate a bunch of the intricacies with crypto assets and the underlying crypto asset data. So Lukka today is focused on data and software products to cater to middle and back office operations that help solve all of those challenges so that businesses can get to market quickly, in contrast to potentially building or doing something else that's gonna really slow down their ability to launch their businesses.
So, Robert, in pragmatic terms, what are the big functional buckets of the services you guys offer to your clients right now?
So it starts with reference data, and really in the crypto ecosystem, we're missing standard setters that are normalizing ticker symbols. All of the identifiers that are behind the scenes in traditional ticker symbols are not set by any central organization for crypto. Each exchange or OTC desk or business can select whatever ticker symbols, whatever data formats, date timestamp formats, and other attributes that they want. And what that does is it creates a lot of messy data for customers, because another common characteristic of the crypto ecosystem is that people use multiple providers. They move their assets around all over the place in order to take advantage of different strategies or opportunities. And so those two things combined create very challenging data sets to work with. Reference data is the first step there. Right after that, the next problem is valuing those assets. And we have products like Lukka Prime that help to value them at fair market value. And there's several other pricing and valuation products that we offer. And then from there, you can get to actually manipulating, analyzing, reconciling the data, which we do with our software. And honestly, our software is really just a big data warehouse for our customers that's collecting that data, enriching it with other data products like raw reference data and Lukka Prime. And then they can finally get to their core need, which is usually some form of reporting or analytics or insights on top of that data.
Yes, this is really interesting to me because in many ways, what you've just described in your own products shows us an bit of insight into the state of the industry itself. When you talk about data set normalization, normalizing ticker symbols, it's fascinating to me because that's a problem that just doesn't exist, for example, with US equities. It's already solved. It's been solved for decades. So it's talking about really building up this stack, and it gives us a sort of a window into what's happening. So data normalization, coming up with fair market valuations, again, something that you would have an NBBO, National Best Bid, Best Offer from Reg NMS in the US equity space. Then you talk about reconciliation on top of that. And then finally, the last layer, as I was thinking it through, was that you're going to do insights and analytics on top of it. Talk about what that stack looks like and what it says about the current state of play in the crypto space.
Recently, Lukka has announced some very exciting partnerships. One, for example, with S&P supporting their first crypto indices. That is one of many examples of traditional financial institutions, data providers, and offering what we're used to seeing them offer, but now for crypto. And Lukka is helping them to do that in new ways. However, this creates a lot of new questions, a lot of answers that people haven't had to answer for a while, because they kind of have had the benefit of, very well established primary markets. We know when markets close. We know what exchanges assets trade on. In crypto, all of that goes away, and it's kind of the Wild West.
Right.
And that's not necessarily a bad thing. It creates a ton more liquidity and accessibility, and trading in fractional quantities and trading assets for one another are all things that are great. But then how do we solve the post-trade world? How do we set standards on top of this? And really, at a high level, it goes back to understanding how we solved it before, instead of just following the rules blindly, and then recreating the rules so that we can meet the same intent, just like we have done in the past with existing markets. And when businesses are adopting crypto into their revenue producing business units, like S&P is, State Street, we just announced, are supporting their fund administration business. It creates a ton of education and information that's required so that people can do things as simple as filing with the SEC, that before was a pretty administrative task. And so Lukka is helping with all of our products to solve those problems in the backgrounds that usually are underestimated.
So tell us a little bit about the partnerships with S&P and State Street. These are two venerable names in the space, people who play an incredibly important role in the so-called financial plumbing of the system. Tell us what you're going to be doing in those two partnerships.
So S&P has announced their first series of crypto indices. They started with a Bitcoin indice, an Ethereum indice, and then a large cap. And then recently they announced a more complicated one that's a blend of 200 plus crypto assets. This is just the beginning. I can't share the details of the next ones that they're launching, but it is very exciting. They're getting a ton of traction, a ton of publicity. And Lukka is supporting them with the underlying data, so that they can create those custom indices.
Now, these are directly investable?
So they S&P, just like they do with their traditional indices, can license them to create something that's investable, but they're not directly.
Got it. And with State Street, give us a little sense of what you're doing there.
Yeah, so State Street is what I think we're seeing the majority of the industry do right now, which is they're catering to high demand from their clients to gain exposure to crypto, and these are fund clients. And so we're supporting them with one of their fund administration businesses, so that they can perform fund admin services for fund clients. And that is after comprehensive proofs of concept and planning and diligence to get that live. And we're very, very excited to be offering that with them.
Hey, if you like this clip, be sure to check out the full interview and more only on realvision.com/crypto. It's 100% free. Sign up now.